Hello everyone, Flapjack Pants here, and welcome to the third episode of my survival world. If you remember back in the first episode during the world tour, I said that eventually I would want to make some kind of automatic or semi-automatic potion brewer inside this building. Now, I actually blocked it off with pumpkins. This is because villagers kept trying to make these barrels their workstations. We'll fix that today. But essentially behind here I want to put an automatic brewer. However, first and foremost, because we'll have to clear out a pretty big area and there's some water here, I want to go raid some ocean monuments for sponges. Alright, now I've actually never done this before, but I'm pretty sure as long as I have some doors, a decent amount of TNT, there it is, decent amount of TNT and some sand, it should be no biggie. I also want to get impaling on my trident, so I'm going to use the library here that I set up last episode. Alright, we should be all kitted out. Okay, as we can see right here, there's quite a few temples in the sea surrounding me, and I'll knock them off one by one. And I'm gonna break in. Okay, we're in. There's the Elder Guardian. One down. Dropped a sponge. Just gonna bust through. Alright. Oh, they do quite a lot of damage. Oh, this is bad. Oh, jeez. The main reason I died was because I just couldn't see anything. It's working. Wait, I forgot my doors. How about we try that again? Alright, I managed to get back. Now, as soon as I put on this gear, I think that guy's gonna see me, so I'm actually just gonna start. There we go. Okay, I think the Elder Guardian is through the wall here. I saw its fin. Oh yeah. Okay, we really can't get blasted by this guy. There's a lot of minions. Oh jeez. I need air. Okay. Let's go. I think that's the last one. Oh jeez. Feels so nice to be able to actually break stuff again. It's a lot of sponges. Now, if I'm correct, over here, yep, there's another room. There's actually another one here too that I found. Let's get out of here. You know what? For my first ever ocean monument raid, I'm gonna call that a win. So now that we can see straight down, you probably realize why I went to get those sponges. We by raiding that monument, we probably just saved hours of work placing sand. Okay, so I've gathered all of the supplies that we should need, and the first thing I'm going to do is change out this bar area. So now that I've switched this out and removed all of the villager workstations, when I'm transporting villagers here from this building next door, they're not going to be drawn into here anymore. Alright, so now that I've laid the foundations for our room here, I'm going to explain what I'm actually going to do. So today we're going to build what I'll call the computer. I would like to say that I made this name up, but probably someone has thought of this before. So essentially what it is there's going to be panels of buttons that represent the different ingredients that can make potions. And then all you have to do is press the buttons, and then they all get funneled into a brewing stand, and they all get queued up in a hopper. All the ingredients in order, they get queued up, and then they just automatically brew that way. So it's hands off, you just push the buttons and then wait. I'll have some kind of display up here that shows when it's brewing, and it'll turn off when it's done. So you can just kind of push all the buttons, leave to go get a snack, and then when you're back, you just have to wait for the display to turn off. That's the plan, at least. Believe it or not, that's actually the whole brewer system itself done. So as you can see, the water bottles here are automatically dispensed. So let's say I want to make a splash potion of strength 2. See all those ingredients I put in? They're all queued up, and let's see this go. So, actually, most of the redstone that we'll be doing is going to be for the display that I'll have up there. So let's get to work. Alright, so that's all the redstone done. I'll run through what all of it does. So this little circuit right here is responsible for automatically refilling the water bottles, as I showed in the last clip. What this does here is it detects if there's any items in the queuing hopper. So there's always going to be items in the brewing stand. There's always going to be at least water bottles there. So that's not a reliable way to see if there's anything still in the brewing stand. What we can do is see if there's anything in the queuing hoppers. As long as there's something in the queuing hoppers, that means that a brewing operation is happening, and so this will light up the display up here. This huge display just basically powers it in a very specific way to print out the word brew. However, when there's only one item here in the brewing stand, but there's nothing in the queuing hopper, so that's at the very end of our brewing operation, then what would happen is the display would turn off. So I've added right here this etho hopper clock here. It's off for most of the time, but as soon as the queuing hopper is empty, this will start the hopper clock, and basically for about 30 seconds it'll keep the display on, and then when those 30 seconds have elapsed, it'll turn it off. And 30 seconds is the amount of time it takes for a brewing operation to happen. So let's test all this out. I'm going to use the example of a speed 2 splash potion. Alright. And there we go. It's working. The computer is alive. Alright, so I've just added in some basic walls and a roof structure for this area. But as you can see by the fact I'm holding a torch right now, it's still super dark. It's technically spawn proof, but I really want to add some vegetation, some glowberries on top so I can actually freaking see. I'm gonna be honest, this was my first time playing with organics like this. I don't really build like this, this is not my style. But I think it turned out okay. Maybe this would have been cool like 2 or 3 years ago. I just feel like in recent years people have gotten so good with building, especially with leaves and stuff. I feel like I've kind of been left behind. But anyways, I just think we need to add some final finishing details and this building will be fully done. And okay, I think that's this building done. So I added some shelves for barrels here, because this is right under a bar, so they need a lot of barrels of alcohol. I've also added this railing here to the ladder, so it's kind of like in some buildings you'll see this, some skyscrapers. So yeah, but overall I think the roof foliage really adds a lot of character to this building. It's a super cool room. I think in the future I'll definitely want to include more stuff like this. In the past most of my buildings were just like boring rectangles, and in this city, you know, they're squares. That's kind of the limitation of this city, but yeah, this is a really cool display. Honestly, this is probably cooler than the computer itself, but it's so mesmerizing almost. Now you may have noticed on these button panels there's a few slots missing. This slot is just, it'll always be empty because there's only 11 options here, but this one right here is supposed to be turtle helmets. So you can use turtle helmets to make potions of Turtle Master, which will give you resistance, but I currently don't have enough scoots for that. So we need that, and right here is supposed to be Dragon's Breath. I've only killed the Ender Dragon once, and during that I didn't collect any Dragon's Breath. So we'll want to fill up these two. I am now in the Turtle Sanctuary. This is southeast from the old base, and currently I'm just gonna have to wait. What I ended up doing was digging a phantom-proof hole, holding out a blade of seagrass, and all the baby turtles would just fall in and grow up and drop their scoots. Now, they would suffocate in the process, but that did mean I got my seagrass back, and I could continue breeding more turtles. It was maybe not the most ethical, but after a little bit of AFKing, I got all the shells I needed. Next up was the Dragon's Breath, and even though I wasn't necessarily the greatest at waiting for the ghasts to be over land to start shooting at them, I still managed to get more than enough ghast tears to make the end crystals and some to spare and save for the farm as well. I crafted up the end crystals and got ready for the fight. So after killing 2 bosses in 1 episode for this Combrutor, it's finally all stocked up. And that marks the end of today's episode. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.